Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to get ready to get started. So if you all could just take a seat in one of these empty chairs up here would be great. Again, I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for coming out today. My name is Sonia Wellborn Rice. I'm the Director of Stakeholder Engagement and Affairs for the Honorable Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks. And on behalf of myself and this office, again, it's a pleasure to have you here today. I must start out with thanking the county executive for her visionary leadership that is always inclusionary. She loves to include everyone and bringing everyone together. And as she says, if it's not enough seats at the table, as we always talk about sitting at the table, she will make sure she finds a blanket, a bench, a chair, or something just so no one is left out. This day and this position has been a long time coming. This was one of her goals when she took over in her first term, that she said she was going to have this office. And here we are today. She kept her promise. We have just hired our first LGBTQIA liaison, and we're very happy and excited about Antonio. One of the many things that I love about my job and working for the county executive and the chief of staff is that they trust our team's ability to bring programs, initiatives into fruition and never have things that we've never done before with no idea and no questions about it. They just trust that we're going to do and serve our community well. I could go on and go on about all of the things that we're doing here. We want to engage you today. We welcome questions. So if there's anything that you have on your mind that you would like to talk about, we have passed out some information where you can write down your questions. After we hear remarks from the county executive, then we will go according to protocol, and we will ask everyone to stand up and then present their question. Again, I can't say enough, but I thank you. We're going to bring up the Honorable County Executive. If you all know Angela Alsobrooks, the amazing county executive. Not only is she our county executive, she was the state's attorney first, and now we have her leading almost 1 million people in Prince George's County. And I can say her footprint is all over this county. If you look at the economic development and everything that's at our fingertips, that this county is growing, and we're very proud. So without further ado, if I would like to introduce to many, and maybe not to so many, but our Honorable County Executive. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's so great to see all of you. I want to thank you for coming, and we're excited about today. Sonia Wellborn, I don't know if this group is fully awake yet, because you know what? Y'all didn't clap for Sonia Wellborn. We said stakeholder engagement. She got a little teeny something. They said Antonio Driver. I didn't feel any love. I'm like, what in the world kind of room? If you can't clap for these two people, they are just, can we give them both a round of applause? They are unusual leaders. You know, I have to tell you, you can go the state over. I am not kidding. And it is difficult to find leaders as inspirational as these two. I want to thank them so much. I want to thank our councilwoman, Crystal Oriada, who has also joined us. I want to thank her so much for her presence. I want to thank also the entire team from Stakeholder Engagement. They are here, and they, as usual, they outdo themselves every single time. So I want to thank them so much as well for all of their hard work. We have Senator Melanie Griffith, who can't hide in the back. We're going to make sure that y'all see that she is here on her dayside job, right? On the part of, she has so many roles that she plays, but we want to thank her. So I'm proud to be here today with so many tireless community advocates and allies committed to equality and progress for the LGBTQIA community. Our county is stronger because of its diversity. We know that including the voices and perspectives of our LGBTQIA plus neighbors helps create a more just and inclusive Prince George's County. We're proud to be home to such a diverse coalition of neighbors who have come together and advocate for change. When this diverse coalition of individuals comes together, and advocates for change, it helps LGBTQIA plus individuals gain greater equality. At the same time, promoting inclusive education and increasing awareness of issues that our LGBTQIA neighbors face helps advance, we know, rights for all Marylanders. And so I'm excited to meet all of you here today and to continue to make positive change that builds on a more equitable and inclusive Prince George's County. I know that Alexis Blackman, Lee Blinder, Kanaya Walker, Lauren Weathers Coggin, Aya Damons, Anthony Fox, and Malachi Stewart are here. And I want to thank each of you for your work on behalf of the LGBTQIA plus community. I'd like to also thank once again our Director of Stakeholder Engagement and Affairs, Sonia Wellborn, for helping put this together. I also look back here now and I see that Unisha Davis is here from the Office of Community Affairs, who does such a beautiful job. Want to thank her also, as well as Corporal Timothy Green of the Prince George's County Police Department. And y'all going to have to at least give the corporal, come on now, some applause as well. And Courtney, I'll see back. I'm just going to start calling out folks. Our deputy is here as well as Kyla Hannington of the Office of Human Rights. And I would be remiss also if I didn't thank and acknowledge once again our super amazing and incredible LGBTQIA plus liaison, Antonio Driver, for joining us and for his tireless advocacy for this community. I'll have a lot more to share about Antonio in just a moment because we are so excited to have him help leading us in this effort. In Prince George's County, we have a robust community of advocates for LGBTQIA neighbors, and I'm proud to see so many of these organizations who are represented here today. I want to thank Heart to Hand, which provides sexual health and wellness awareness training. Yes, let's give them a round of applause. They provide as well test kits for STIs and HIV and treatment for STIs, and us helping us. Want to thank them for being here. Come on, y'all. Man, this crowd, I'm telling you, which works to reduce harm caused by HIV through participation in academic studies. And I'd like to thank all of the partners, advocates, and allies who have taken the time to be here with us. Both of these organizations depend on volunteers. So we want to remind you always that if there's anyone here who's looking to get more involved, and we always need more people to get involved, these are two really, really great options. Organizing is such an important part of effective advocacy. And all of the hard-fought advancements that our LGBTQIA community has won over the past few decades only happened because people stood up, set goals, and worked hard to advance the cause of equity. Despite these advancements over the past few years, we've seen a renewed focus by extremists on unwinding the cause of equality for LGBTQIA plus Americans. In fact, the Human Rights Campaign has declared a national state of emergency for LGBTQIA Americans for the first time. Over 75 bills targeting LGBTQIA rights were signed into law in 2023, making this the worst year of state bills on record. Despite these challenges, I'm proud to say that here in Maryland, we are not going backwards. We're not compromising, and we are not backing down. We will protect, preserve, and promote LGBTQIA plus communities at all costs, and members of this diverse community deserve to be treated equally. It's about doing what's right. It's about promoting equity in Prince George's County, and it's about promoting it all across America. Maryland already has a non-discrimination law, and we need to do more during this time of national emergency. We must continue to organize more local events here in Prince George's County so that we can address Prince Georgians' concerns and hear their ideas close to home. We need to empower students to organize more queer alliance clubs in their high schools. We need to do more work to target LGBTQIA plus youth who need guidance and support as they come of age. And we need to find ways to support young people who do not feel safe at home. We must do more to reduce HIV transmission in Prince George's County. You should know that we now have the highest rate of transmission in the region. And we need to work together to address this public health crisis and stop the spread of this illness. And we need greater representation of LGBTQIA plus individuals in our government. This past June, our county took a key step forward for the community when my administration created the first ever LGBTQIA plus liaison position in Prince George's County. Thank you. After hearing from advocates from across the county, we understood that we needed to create this position to help further the interest in the community of our community in a very meaningful way. And I'm so proud to have our new liaison here with us today, Antonio Driver. Antonio brings so much knowledge. He brings his expertise as well to our county government that will help us connect more meaningfully on important issues. Antonio also brings a great deal of activism experience to this role. He's the founder and former executive director of Speak Out in Washington, D.C., where he set strategic goals, promoted outreach, and worked as a tireless advocate to connect the LGBTQIA plus community of color through social engagement, personal empowerment, mentorship, and health awareness. You should know, and I know no one in this room is surprised to learn, that Antonio has hit the ground running with our team. I know he's excited to organize events just like this and connect with the community here. So let's hear a warm welcome for our very first LGBTQIA plus liaison, Antonio Driver. We see this position as a way to increase awareness and visibility of issues in Prince George's, and we want to make sure that this community feels seen and heard, and that our county government can respond to concerns with action that helps secure equality for all of us. So once again, would you help me, please? And y'all gonna have to do a good job. I just please to give a warm welcome. I want y'all to make him feel loved and appreciated. Let him know what we feel about him as I hand over things right now to our very own Antonio Driver. Yes.
Wow. Thank you, County Executive Alsobrook, for that warm introduction. But also, thank you for entrusting me to serve as the first LGBTQI plus liaison for Prince George's County. I want to thank everybody for being here. I know that it has taken a lot of time and effort to get to this moment in this county. And I also understand that we got a lot of work to do ahead of us. But before I get into that, I want to thank the people who have come from Baltimore City to support us, from the Baltimore City Office of LGBT Affairs, from individuals from other parts of Maryland. I want to thank you all because you saw the importance of Prince George's County moving us forward in the work that we need to do. I'm here today filled with a strong desire to stand shoulder to shoulder with every one of you. And I'm determined to make Prince George's County a place not only to live, but a place to call home, where we are seen, where we are heard, and we are respected. As your LGBTQI plus liaison, I understand that my first job was to listen before acting. Over the past 2 months, I've met with the police department, I've met with the health department, I've met with school districts, I've met with local community-based organizations to talk about the issues and concerns and aspirations they see for the LGBTQI plus community. As we move forward into our action part, here is where I ask for your help. We're forming and we're looking for volunteers to help us with our community advisory board, to help us with the largest pride Prince George's County has ever seen in 2024, to help us with our new initiative called In This Space, made up of community events, LGBTQI plus trainings for local businesses, government agencies, and schools, one-day summits, partnerships with local colleges and universities. Furthermore, I'm here to be the conductor for the LGBTQI plus community and the local government, working diligently to ensure our policies, our initiatives and our actions are aligning with what we believe to be diversity and inclusion. Beyond policies and initiatives, together we will work to foster a safe space where our youth can feel free without fear, where our elder communities can move with dignity, and where every individual, regardless of their sexual orientation, gender expression, or experience, can live respectfully. As we move forward, I invite you all to tell your stories, share your dreams, so that Prince George's County can be a place where we call home. Thank you so much for that moment. I wanted to bring up some of my colleagues who we intend to partner with to talk about the work that they do. And we'll just go in the order of Kaya Hannington and then Corporal Timothy Green.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kyla Hannington, and I'm the Public Outreach and Engagement Division Manager with the Prince George's County Office of Human Rights. And it's so wonderful to be here today. I'm seeing people that I have not seen since the before times of, as I like to say, February 2020. And I'm really glad to be in a space, seeing some old friends and also meeting new people. I'll be very brief. I know your time is precious, but I do want to let you know what the Office of Human Rights does and how we can support you. We say we're the county's civil and human rights education and enforcement agency. We operate 4 divisions. The first is investigations. And so that's civil rights complaints. So if you feel that you've been discriminated against in your employment, in public accommodations, so that's like in a public space like a business, in housing, in education, in law enforcement, real estate, financial lending, in Prince George's County, we are the people that you call, and we do investigations about that. We also stand up the Prince George's County Human Trafficking Task Force. We combat human trafficking around the region with a multitude of partners. We have private and public partners, including people in this room who've part of the Human Trafficking Task Force. We also stand up a language access program. This ensures equitable language access to all people to county government services in the language of their preference. And then lastly, we have a public outreach and engagement division, which I'm representing, and we really work to build community through doing programming, doing tabling, putting people together in conversation. And I think in all of these ways, we're hoping that we can be in partnership and connection and of service to all of you. So I would hope that I brought a few bits and bobs on the back table, the little free giveaways if anybody would like anything. And I'd also welcome you to come talk to me after this event if you'd like to get more reacquainted with me in some cases or to hear more about what we do. But thank you very much, and thank you so much for including me in this. And thanks. Sure.
Hello, everybody. I'm Corporal Timothy Green with the Prince George's County Police Department. I am one of the 5 now liaisons for our department as far as LGBTQIA related things. So like I mentioned, I am an instructor over at the academy. I work with the student officers that we have that come through the academy. And one of our many things is training. All right, we always focus on training, putting out the right training to our recruits and to our officers. The biggest thing is that what we want to do is connect more with our community. I know with the past and how things have been in the past, we are trying to move in a more positive light, in a positive direction with our community. So getting to know our community partners, as Kyla mentioned, we see a lot of familiar faces in here that we've seen throughout the years. I do see Courtney wherever she went, and then Director Davis, and also the Honorable County Exec, working toward a positive thing with the police department and also our community. Antonio Driver, we welcome you to the county, of course. As he mentioned, we did plan Pride 2023 this year, which we had a phenomenal turnout with the county exec and the help of the Office of Community Relations. And with that, just seeing the unity in our county and what we can bring is not just the police department, but with different organizations. We want to continue to build that gap between all of our agencies, not only just the police department, but all of us and our community. So Also in the back, we have Captain Bryant, who is the commander or the assistant commander of our BOT section with the police department. And we are here to not only get to know our familiar faces, but get to know a little bit about everybody. So if you guys have questions afterwards, please feel free to ask whatever you would like to ask. And we want to try and bridge that gap. Thank you.
I guess I'm back up. I definitely wanted to acknowledge Lee Binder with the Trans Maryland group. They're here, and they have a survey that they're doing. It should be some flyers around that they're collecting data from right behind that they're collecting data for trans individuals in Maryland to provide more resources. So I have your questions, and I'll try my best to answer them. And this first question is: Are there any partnership opportunities between the county's LGBTQI plus office and mental health service and providers? I would say that there currently are not any, but that is not to say that we cannot work to create those resources. I believe that mental health is a huge part of the work that we do when we are addressing homelessness, when we're addressing HIV, when we're addressing housing. Mental health plays a key thing. So I definitely could see how that could be a potential. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So that really is a great question, and it's an important issue. What I wanted to add to this is that we have just opened very recently our first ever mental health care facility at Luminous. We're partnering with Luminous Healthcare, so we have the first of its kind in the county mental health care and addictions care facility that we do along with Luminous Healthcare, and we are now in the process of expanding across the county a continuum of behavioral health services that can be accessible to every part of our community. So this is an issue I'm glad that it was raised today, but we'll be looking for more ways to make those services accessible to more people and to make sure that the care we give is specific to the needs. For example, if this is something, Antonio, we should look at as we talk with Luminous, if there are specific services that you think we should provide for the LGBTQIA community, then we need to make sure we do that. But I want you to know that facility is the first of its kind ever to have come to Prince George's County, came about as a result of a collaborative effort that we did in 2020. Where upon looking out and realizing that we were really harming people by incarcerating people who were suffering from mental illness and addictions and housing them and recycling them over and over again in our correctional facility, decided to reallocate $20 million away from building a new public safety training facility. And instead, we built our new first mental health care and addictions care facility so we can care for our loved ones with the dignity that they deserve. So that opened last year, and we're going to continue to go. But I'd love to have feedback, Antonio, if we can get information about the kinds of services that you think would be helpful, even there at that facility and others. Thank you.
All right. The next one. With many resources / organizations DC has for queer teens, what are or will be available for pre-PG teens? So one of the things that I've done is I've met with the school district and I've talked about the alliance clubs and how we can make sure those alliance clubs are spread through all of the high schools. I'm starting conversations with Child and Family Services about how we can partner to create safe spaces for our youth. And I'm also looking to the community and the community advisory board that we're establishing on how parents and the community would like us to work with their youth. Okay. So next question is, what physical space are being created for peer-to-peer support, particularly for trans communities? And will the office be granting opportunities or if so, will information be made available? I believe in partnership, and I believe that one of the things that we are working with the Office of Human Rights is creating a trans coalition support group. And out of that group, I believe that we will start to look at ways that the trans community can, and I'm just going to speak from the community. Not being trans, I cannot speak for what the trans needs and what they want. So I believe in creating and listening to what they would like to see. So I don't believe that I believe that opportunity is available. Heart to Hand plans to work closely with the trans community in Prince George's County. Are there any specific areas or concerns in Prince George's County that should drive our focus, and how can this office support this? Once again, I think that I'm waiting for the information to come from the trans collaborative that we're doing with the Office of Human Rights and working with our office just to look at what needs are important to the trans community. Once again, I being a Black gay man and understanding that the trans community has very specific needs, it's one of those things where I like to listen before acting. And so I think that's the approach the office is taking, is that we are creating a space for you all to tell us what you need. What is available for displaced teams who have been kicked out or run away? I believe that the governor just signed an executive order with the deputy director to offer, I don't want to put the exact amount of money, but I know that there was money specific, and we're waiting for those funds to figure out how they can be dispersed. And I then will have those conversations with our office and with our housing office about how we can support the trans or the LGBT youth who have been displaced in Prince George's County. That's it. Did you? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you so much to Antonio for fielding those questions. You know, well, one of the things, so first of all, let me just make sure this person has been really busy because I've seen him already at work in another part of the county today. But Delegate Martinez is here, and I want to acknowledge him and thank him so much for being here. He was at a school groundbreaking, so he's all over today. But we thank you for being here as well today. And what I'd like to say is, what I suggest we do through Antonio is to assemble an advisory group. That way, all of these various concerns we have, we can come together, put the right stakeholders around the table, and then generate a report. That report will will tell us the areas that we need to really put additional resources around. And then we can go to our various agencies and task them with solving some of the issues. So I know that you all raised today, for example, really, really great questions and pointed out some issues for us. But guess what? There are more. I think there are others that probably weren't represented even in the questions today. And what will be really important is to pull together an advisory group. We hope that some of the folks in this room would volunteer to be on that advisory group that could generate a list of questions, concerns, and areas that where you think the county is missing it. And the great thing about Antonio and his position is he has access to the government's, all of the resources here. He can help us to point to the areas that we can better use our resources. And if we don't have the resource, we can go and find the resource we need to make sure that we're addressing the concerns. So I thank you for raising them today. Don't stop them from coming, but I think we should do this and again, this is a great start. One of the things I was thinking of as I was sitting there is, imagine before Antonio, the county had never had even a way to address these concerns in a really organized way. Having this liaison position is so important. We've never had it before. Can you imagine all of the concerns that have gone unaddressed before now? But now that we have a way to organize the concerns and issues, we can certainly address them. But let's do an advisory group that will come together, put together all of the concerns, and we'll generate a report, and then we'll act from there. So I guess, who do I hand it over to now? Are we going back to Sonia or to Barbara? I think they're deciding which of them is going to come in and take us in from here. Thank you.
When we talk about collaboration and partnership, that's exactly what we were doing, deciding who was going to speak first. So my name is Barbara Holt Streeter, and I serve as the newest team member for County Executive in the role of the Director of Strategic Partnerships. And I want to share with you all that we have money available for our nonprofits. How many nonprofit organizations are here in the room? 1, 2, 3, 4. I love it. So our office has money available to share so you can continue to build capacity in the space of Prince George's County. So what I would love to do, I'll share, I'll be working with Antonio to make sure I get your information. I have my business cards, but I want you to note 2 dates. November the 1st, we will be hosting a nonprofit symposium at Prince George's Community College, November the 1st, and the cost is free. So we want to make sure everyone register. And by the end of September, we will open up our portal where we have access to $2.5 million that nonprofits will be able to apply for grants. So again, we want to work right alongside with Antonio. And our motto is to connect, collaborate, and cultivate relationships. So we look forward to working with you.
I'm going to close out, but again, we say thank you. And if there's any additional questions or concerns, Antonio will be here. The county executive will be here for a little bit too, that you all can just come up and let us know what's on your mind. But as the county executive mentioned, we are actively putting together our advisory board. We have a new initiative called In This Space. I just love the catchphrase of that. And with that being said, a lot of programs and initiatives will be born from that. So again, thank you. And Antonio, if you have anything you want to.
No, thank you all so much for your time and coming out. We truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate it.
All right,
Thank you.
you.